machines. But for the visually impaired, each of these students require a braille machine. Notes. And I think by the time you're coming back, there'll be a sample for you to see what a braille machine is. And that braille machine today goes for around 150,000. Today, the demand is so high. You go to Thika School for the Blind, for example, where we were last month, and we found they have 400 students. And they're sharing 40 braille machines. Out of them, 7 have broken down. And so they're sharing 33 machines, the entire school. KCPE is coming. It's just around the corner. KCSE, again, is also around the corner. And it will mean that some students will have to wait for the others until they finish for them to be able to undertake the exam. I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted to welcome you to this great occasion and also get the honor of inviting and recognizing our Executive Director, Mr. Samson Waweru, who has also been a beneficiary as a learner with visual impairment across in this country. And he went all the way up to the university. And I would want him just to share one experience as he invites our dignitaries to speak to us and also launch the event.
Thank you very much. Her Excellency, Dr. Dorcas Rigade, Honorable Jane Kihara, Area MP, Honorable Chelule, County Member of Parliament, all guests with us, corporates that have joined us, representatives from National Fund for Persons with Disabilities, Unga Limited, who have supported us, County Pension Fund Services, Kenya Development Corporation, schools that are with us today, Nairobi Academy, Brookside School, Nova Pioneers, our schools for the blind, Thika School for the Blind Primary and Thika High School for the Blind, a former school that I went through, Korara Special Schools from Bomet, and all individuals of goodwill who also took their time to come and join us. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. This is a very special day for us, Her Excellency, because we've never had such a high dignitary like you having the honor to flag us off on this Mount Longonot climb. Perhaps it's synonymous with the work you've been doing around the country in empowering the vulnerable communities. And that's a very noble venture, because even the visually impaired people may seem to have been forgotten. Most of the times when we talk about disabilities, we first remember the physically impaired. But today we have an opportunity also to highlight a few things that are facing the visually impaired learners. We are here for a worthy cause in that visually impaired people, despite the abilities they've been given, we are only judged because of lacking one sense. That is the sense of sight. But visually impaired people, I want to assure you, always see. And it is not them who are blind, but it is us as a community who are blind to how they can be supported for them to thrive in life. And for us, the learning of the children with visual impairment is at the center of everything we do. Because if we don't empower them with devices, with resources, with qualified teachers, and to enable them to get a quality education, we will not attain the 4th Sustainable Development Goal of leaving no one behind. It will remain in paper, but when it comes to practicability, more and more learners are being left behind in Kenya. In this country, Her Excellency, we have over 334,000 totally blind persons, according to the Census 2019. We have over 750,000 partially blinded people who also remain forgotten, because if you can see a little bit, it's difficult for someone to notice that you have a challenge. And so devices like low visions are not plenty that can support these learners. But today we gather here to raise awareness of this important cause. Kenya Society for the Blind, having been established since 1956, continues to reimagine and to provide the best solutions that can spearhead the education for the learners who are blind, the rehabilitation, and also promote the well-being of those who are on the risk of going blind. So today we may not only be here for the blind, but also for those of you who think are sighted, but you could go blind anytime. Because out of every 4 Kenyans, 1 is on the risk because of treatable conditions. And so, Her Excellency, we've noted that you have been supporting campaigns against drugs. And alcohol is one of the drugs. And alcohol also has led to loss of sight for many blind people. So we would like to also encourage that the fight against drug abuse will also enable us prevent more and more persons with disabilities. But it is also to say that those of us who already have a disability should not be forgotten in education, because education is the equalizer of opportunities. Today, we have a debate of whether it's integration or inclusive education, because integrated education looks at the learner as the person with the problem, and so they try to address the problem in the learner. But today, we want to advocate for inclusive education, which looks at the environment as the cause of the problem to this learner. So it's not the learner with the problem, because the learner has a mind that God gave to them and a brain. And so when they are supported with the right environment, then it is not them who are blind, but the environment is making this learner blind. And that is what we want to advocate by all of you who have joined us today here, so that you hold our hands and support us to climb the mountain. We have always looked at blindness as a curse. We have always looked at it as a problem, so that even when I enter an interview room as a blind person, the first question the panel will ask, how will this man work when he is blind? So they don't look at you as a person and the qualifications you have, but your blindness. And that has led to the state that we are in today, where only 20% of potential qualified blind persons in these countries are employed. So we need to do more to change the hearts of the community, so that they can see the potential in those they think people who are blind, but really these are not people who are blind, because they can really do a lot. We are always told that sometimes we don't recognize a person's ability to do medical. Today I want to tell you, Your Excellency, our treasurer for Kenya Society for the Blind has 1 eye, and he is a doctor. And I would like to recognize him, Dr. Solomon Odhiambo. Is he here? Yes, Your Excellency, that is a doctor who has gone through education in the University of Nairobi, previously gone through normal schools, but excelled with good grades. But I can tell you, when he appears in an interview panel for a government hospital, they say a 1-eyed doctor will not do a good work compared to a 2-eyed doctor. And so, if him, having been that way, is lacking opportunities, what for these other people? So today we are here for the right cause, and I want to encourage each and every corporate, each and every person to think of what then we can do, because blind people always have a bigger vision. And anytime you don't have the sense of seeing, then the vision is always bigger. And their vision can also help this country far, and so we should embrace them. So, Your Excellency, without taking a lot of time, I will first invite my board treasurer. He's here on behalf of our chair. Our chair is Mr. Hosea Kili, the managing group director of County Pension Fund Financial Services. He could not be here with us. And Anna Ooko is our vice chair. She sends her greeting. She is the communications director at Kenya Development Corporation. So the treasurer will just make a few remarks, and then we'll invite the county women representative. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, Dr. Dorcas Gachagua, my colleague, Lisa Chelule, the DCC and all of us, Executive Director of KSB, good morning. Good morning once more. Your Excellency, we thank you very, very much for availing yourself for this walk or this mountain climbing. I've started getting worried because I think you have had a lot of exercise with His Excellency, the Deputy President. You give him the morning walk. So you're going to walk ahead of me. So if you see me dropping on the way, it's, it's not because I don't want to move with you, but maybe for purposes of protocol, I would request the DCC, my DCC, to just say a word and welcome you here on behalf of the government.
Your Excellency, Pastor Dorcas, all protocol observed. Today is a wonderful day. We welcome you most sincerely to this place. Our director, KWS, is with us. The park has buffaloes, but we have wardens, so don't worry. We shall walk with you. Thank you. Most welcome.
Your Excellency, like I had mentioned, we have a program for people living with disability, and blindness is one of our components where we fall shortage also of facilities or equipment, and we try to source them. And when I was invited as the area MP, and then there was a category of individuals and then corporate, I told them it's better they have group category so that I'm able to sponsor more, which I did. Can all those people I sponsored stand up? My office. You are very few. I sponsored more. Mr. Waweru, that I sponsored quite a group. Your Excellency, those are my office staff who have come to support the cause because we always do. It's Josephine here. She's not here. Our program officer in Drake, she's not here. I would have wanted her to just say a word and tell you what is it that we do. We support disability all through. In fact, we are the people who are policing that the buildings comes up in Naivasha have a ramp. We went policing. If you are bringing a building up and we saw it, we used to run where you are and tell them you have to have a ramp. So it's something that we have gone through, and we really support you, the cause of what you do. From what the executive director has said, alcoholism, we know the passion for the boy child, and also for people living with disability. We'll support you all through. And we would have given you a document of what we do. Maybe when you have time, we'd like to just come and explain how severe it is, and also enjoy our weather here. This is Longonot. So when we hear us asking for food, you can see that there is nothing really that can grow here. Welcome, our senator. So let me not say much because I don't want to delay. We appreciate you. We love what you do. We are going to support you all through. And let us all wake up. Your Excellency, we have two girls who are blind who really sing. They were invited for our plan at Kasarani to perform. Unfortunately, there was no time. We have got two artist girls who are really good, and they are both blind, and we support them. We didn't communicate very well. They would have come here and sing for you. They are just beautiful. They are good, 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 good. Your Excellency, let me now, with great pleasure, ask Madam Chelule to just say a word.
Dr. Dorcas Rigathi, our senator and our member of parliament, all the government officers here under our DCC, and all other participants. I want to take this opportunity, Your Excellency, to thank you on behalf of Nakuru County for actually being concerned about people living with disability. And not only that, you are also concerned about boy child, and you are concerned about the widows in our country. And we've come here today, Dr. Dorcas, just to support you and show our solidarity with you. We are with you, and we really love the way you are so concerned. We are here with Jane. You know, we every time attend our sports activities in Nyayo Stadium. And at some point, you may not see us, but we shall be around you somewhere else. Now that Buffalo has been mentioned, I don't know what will happen. So we really want to thank you, and we are ready to support you. We are all very concerned, and I want to really appreciate the speech by the Executive Director, Mr. Waweru. Your speech has really gotten into my heart. Waweru, I'm sitting in the Committee for the National Cohesion and Equal Opportunities, where I've always been complaining as to why people with disabilities are not attending interviews, they are not even given position. And many occasions, they claim that you don't apply, you don't come for interviews. So I would really want you today that in your office, and especially those people you are standing for, apart from these other people, I know there are so many vulnerable people. Please, can you pull your aerial to make sure that every advert, you make sure that your people apply and they get opportunities in our government. Because people with disabilities are all over with us, and we really need to be concerned. And especially the members of parliament, especially all those the government leaders, we need to be concerned because these are our people and they voted for us. In my office, I every time consider them, giving them what they need. On 21st, on Thursday, I was giving out some government, the National Gov Affirmative Action Fund, and I included people with disability. And I remember your people in Nakuru got a 10,000 tank, and they came for it. They did a proposal, and I gave them, and many others. So we are all supposed to be very concerned about people with disabilities because we believe that disability is not inability. We are proud of you, and we shall go together. Madam Dr. Dorcas, tuko pamoja na wewe. On behalf of Nakuru County, let me just say thank you, thank you, thank you. We are ready to move with you. Thank you so much. My name is Lisa Chelule, Mama County, Mama Cohesion. I love peace, and may peace be with you. Na sisi wote tupende amani. Asante sana, Jane.
Thank you very much. As you heard, we are in Nyayo Stadium. We are in the tug of war team, so it's not walking. We pull. So if we are not able to walk with you, Madam Senator, please come just say something as we close.
Your Excellency, Dr. Reverend Dorcas Rigathi, our woman rep, Liza Chelule, our Member of Parliament, Jane Kihara, all protocols observed. I'm also here, the Senator of Nakuru County, just to say my apologies, my really apologies that I'm late. And I think I was just coming from here, Naivasha. It's only that I had another small meeting in the morning, then I was rushing. So happy to be here because Naivasha, Nakuru, here in Longonot is where actually I was brought up. My home area is up here, about 3 kilometers from here. So this Longonot, I think I climbed it when I was in primary, then secondary, and is so dear to me. Thank you, Dr. Dorcas, for coming here today, Nakuru County, and for hearing this noble cause and putting whatever disability, being part of your agenda. We really here to support you, and as Liza Chelule says, disability is not inability, and everybody deserves equal opportunity, and we are here to support that, to see that also our disabled can get also equal opportunity like everyone of us. Nakuru, I know we put that so much front, I mean, and we are really going to ensure that we work together with all the disabled to ensure that they get that equal opportunity, because we know there are people that like us, they just need to be given that opportunity and support that they deserve. And Dr. Dorcas being here, I know today will get something that will show that you supported the disabled, and especially the blind, for today to be precise. So thank you so much. You are all welcome to Nakuru County, and my apologies again for being late. You know, when you are late, you just come and and touch here and here. But we are here and work together with you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the organization. Thank you for inviting us. And thank you for the good work that you are also doing. Asante sana, and God bless. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Josephine Mahinda, Disability Resource Information Center in Naivasha. We rehabilitate, we give information, we link persons with disability within the entire county and the neighboring counties.
Thank you very much. May we be all upstanding for Her Excellency to give her remarks and flag us off, and we go and climb, and you go to the top, and those who are not able to go to the top, they sit and wait for her. Karibu, Your Excellency.
The Senator, Nakuru County, Tabitha Karanja, our Honorable Member of Parliament, Jane Kehara, our Woman Representative, Lisa Cherure, CEO, Samson Wawero, and the Board of Kenya Society for the Blind, our DCC and our civil servants who are here, the KWS representative, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I must say I'm deeply honored to stand before you today to witness your journey to the top of Mount Longonot on a course to support the blind. We gather here before climbing up these magnificent slopes of Mount Longonot. We are hoping to enjoy the adventure for a noble cause. For our objective today was to support the Kenya Society for the Blind in their effort to create awareness on the differently abled people. This boldly speaks to our hearts as a nation and underpins the philosophy of one nation and one people. We have just said that disability is not inability, but as a nation, as a community, and as a society, we must be very careful not to make the disability inability. We have just heard what the director was talking to us about today, about integration that we are doing in our schools. We do the integration by moving the people who are differently abled to ordinary schools that have no infrastructure that can be able to hold them and be able to cater for them. And I think that is an injustice. We need to do it in the right way. We have removed the support that we give to those schools, and it would be wrong for us as a nation not to see and be able to feel and be able to touch the lives of these people in a special way. They are only special in the sense that they need an enabling environment, not a disabling one. And that is their cry this day. And so as we gather here to go up that mountain and raise the funds that can be able to cater for some of the equipment that they use, we have said we need to think and maybe come with an affirmative action. We have ladies who are in parliament, and God has blessed this Naivasha. If you can stand, you'll see their mothers. We have Jane Kehara. We have Tabitha, and we have Liz. I am here. And these children that you see who are differently abled, we gave birth to them. And what they need is just an enabling environment. When they cry that they cannot access employment, I think we need to rethink the way we do things as communities. And that's why you see I've been championing the boy-child cause, because we, the society, are the ones who are serving the injustices to our own vulnerable populations, who are many. We are talking about 334 children that who will need those brailles. We should make provisions, and we should be able to have a budget that will be able to give them whatever they need so that they can compete equally in their exams. Because if we set exams that will require what other children need, then we must facilitate and equip them in the right way. And so I hear you, Director, when you speak, and we are going to continue with this advocacy, not only advocacy, but we are going to lobby for registration, so that even when we talk about 2/3 majority, we are talking about women, we are talking about girls, we can also talk about employment where we give them a certain percentage for them to be able to feel, so that they don't feel left out. These are not they are Kenyans, and what we need is to just make them feel so. Every step we make to this today as we go up is symbolic of the heights that we can achieve when we come together hand in hand to support those who face unique challenges in life. It reminds us that it is not just a step up a mountain, but a step towards a more inclusive and a more compassionate society. Because if we love one another, we will not harm one another. Indeed, this event has will re-energize and call each one of us to action. It is time to redefine inclusivity, not just as a moral obligation, but a fundamental human action which each one of us ought to practice. We must work tirelessly to remove barriers and challenges and stereotypes and create opportunity for all, regardless of their abilities or disabilities. Therefore, our resolve as a people is to remain resilient and methodical in order to realize the greater good for the least amongst us. Further, today, as we climb, it is an embodiment of our commitment to an equal society where nobody is left behind. It is also a demonstration of our belief that every person, regardless of their visual ability, deserves access to education, employment, and all the opportunities that life can offer. I sincerely appreciate and thank all of you who have sacrificed your time and resources towards this great exercise. I know the funds we raise today will make a significant impact on the lives of those who are visually impaired. They will provide access to education, skills training, and to empower individuals to lead independent and fulfilling lives. Finally, I am more determined more than ever before and convinced that together we can make a real difference in the lives of those who are visually impaired as we integrate to create a more inclusive and compassionate society. May God bless you, and as we go up, I believe we will all go up in terms of the way we relate with one another, in terms of the way we see one another. And let me just ask someone here. If you are physically blind or you are visually impaired physically, and another one is spiritually, sharp in the way they see. And perhaps if we could demonstrate here, if I can take our senator, Tabitha, just come please. I'll just demonstrate what the difference is. Just blindfold her and tell her to go back to the seat where she was. We just want to demonstrate what this one is. And then get director, let director come here and ask him to go back where he is sitting. And that is what the society ought to know. The very fact that I'm seeing differently does not mean you are better than myself. We are all good in the presence of God.
No, I can close.
We know what she wants to do.
No, I won't lie.
And
Yes.
so that, I just want to make this demonstration so that we can know the difference. You see, already she's afraid. And it is the same thing that we make the other people afraid to leave. Okay, so now go to your...
Okay, I go to my boy. I know.
Okay, now, both of you, hold the stick. You see now. Okay. How is it? How is it? All right, now she can remove her blind and see she's doing very well. Because somebody has helped and he has already arrived at his seat.
Excellency, I wish to hand over the flag, to officially flag off the 2023 Mount Longonot climb by Kenya Society for the Blind, supported by all its partners and schools. So this is a testament that after you flag, both the blind and the sighted can together climb the mountain and appreciate each other. And I also wish to honor Mr. Douglas Sidialo for climbing to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro while blind, and he's here with us today. Thank you very much.
Okay, in a count of 1, 2, 3, let's go! Thank you, Your Excellency.
We are working to make sure that these people who are so special and differently abled are supported. We are bringing awareness that disability is not inability. And that should not be just a phrase that people say. It should be something that we are supporting and making sure that we are enabling them by creating environment around them, being able to participate with them. And you can see we went up. Some of us could not reach there, others went, and if you go to the top of this Mount Longonot, you'll find those who are differently able with visual impairment. They have gone up there and they have come back. And that tells us, apart from the physical eye, they have a spiritual eye, and I could see as we were going up, they were doing a better job than those ones who can physically see. And so we must be careful not to stereotype and make our children feel the victims. And that is why I came to support them and to make sure that we are sensitizing the community and the nation about our children and our communities that need our support, so that we can accord them equal opportunities and they can be able to exploit their full potential.
You've talked about tabling a bill to the Senate and
You know, for some times now, I think there was an error that we created by doing integration of the disabled or people who are differently abled to go to the ordinary schools. And when we were doing that, we did not create the infrastructure or the environment that would accommodate them there. So you can just imagine, when you bring somebody who has visual impairment, he comes to an ordinary school where they have to look at the blackboard and they can't see it. Then you don't give them brailles where they can be able to write because they can hear. It's only one sense that is not there. They can hear, but they don't have brailles and they can see the blackboard. I think that is injustice, and we need to look at a situation where if we are going to have that integration, it is either we take the abled people to the other place where people are disabled, like we get, let's say, the Joy Town there, they have an infrastructure that they can be able to use appropriately. So if you get people who are from Mogumoine or St. Patrick or Gatumaine and take them there, it is easier for them to be integrated there. The other thing is to return the capitation, because when you remove capitation from the schools where people are not able, how would they live there? And we have not integrated all the schools. So you'll go, you find the school of the deaf, the school of the blind, and the school of the of other who are differently abled. They are not being financed by government. At the same time, we don't even provide for the facilities that enable them to equally access the right environment for study. When you don't buy a braille and you have students who need it, how then will those children be able to take exams with equal chance and give them equal chances with the others? They do the same exams, same syllabus, and therefore we must come with an affirmative action where we are going to make sure that if you are a blind person, you have braille. That's a right. I don't think even they need to ask for it. It is a right like any other. Is like giving books, giving a pen. That is their pen. And so we should give them. Hearing aids and all this should be available to those who need them. And that's why we are saying we need to draft a bill where we can also make sure that they are also get equal opportunities in terms of employment. Because when somebody comes, you have a degree. They have gone to school in KU, they have gone to MKU, they have gone to Kodrek University just like us. And then when they come out with a degree, they come for interview. Somebody asks how they are going to work when they are blind. How did they get their degree? Just the same way they will be able to work. All we need is a neighboring environment. And they are very intelligent people.
We want to appreciate Her Excellency for coming and taking with us this challenge of climbing Mount Longonot. For us as the Kenya Society for the Blind, ours is to demonstrate that we have been living in a society of sympathy. Sympathy that is given to us merely because we are blind. And if you are sympathetic to me because I'm blind, it means you will not give me any solutions that will help me in life. But the climb today with Her Excellency and all the dignitaries with us shows that we are now going to an empathetic society. A society that says we are not looking at this person because of their disability, but we are looking at their ability and giving them opportunities, because with a little help, with a little support, we can then do as much. So that when you look at the cause we are standing for today, inclusive education for our learners, it goes without saying, if I did my KCSE and I did the same exam as my counterpart, in mathematics, I did not get a scientific talking calculator because one costs 50,000. The sighted had one that cost 1,500, but I'm expected to do the same exam and pass. And if I don't pass because I don't have the devices, I'm condemned, because I will obviously fail in mathematics because I don't have the devices. But then the society condemns me that there are careers I can do and some that I can do. So we want to say that we need to make deliberate efforts in supporting the learners that are differently able. Let's make budgetary allocations that are commensurate to their needs. You cannot give a blind learner a capitation fee of 21,000 and give the same as for the sighted learner. Their braille machine, which is the equivalent of a pen, is 150,000. You can tell me how much a pen is, 20 bob. So when you give them the same capitation, you are obviously abusing the right to quality, accessible, inclusive education for this learner who has visual impairment. And that is what we have come to advocate today. The advocacy will continue. We are also going to follow up with the review of the Kenya Society for the Act bill, so that it stops being a charity modeled bill. It becomes a human rights approached bill that corresponds to our Constitution 2010, corresponds to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, so that we give sustainable solutions to persons and learners who have disabilities. We have also the deaf and blind. Despite the fact that we are seeing in America they can learn and bring better outputs, here they don't learn. They are just made to go through some vocational skills, how to do beads and everything. So a lot still needs to be done, and we thank Her Excellency for ensuring that as we climb this mountain, no learner, no person with disability will be left behind in education, employment, and other social aspects of the society. Thank you.